thank you, Violet, for that beautiful presentation. I'm very proud to have Violet Vescovich, the state president of Youth Forum in Michigan. We have a wonderful organization. Candidates all over the country seek out our support because they know we stand for something, and we know we believe in being politically active. So thank you, Violet, for all you're doing, and I hope all of you will join Eagle Forum and get my newsletter, which is now in its 43rd year. You're thinking straight on the conservative issues, and there are so many important issues. But we do believe in being politically active. The founding fathers left us a wonderful country, but it takes people like you to be active and participate. And I'm impressed that Colleen, in introducing Rocky this morning, said this is the first time she was ever involved in a campaign. It's exciting the way there are so many people who now come out for the first time. They realize that we're on the wrong track, we're going in the wrong direction. And that's what Obama is doing to us. Actually, he's doing what he said he was going to do, but nobody really believed that he could or would do it. And for example, he told Joe the plumber that he wanted to spread the wealth transfer. And that's exactly what he's doing, taking money away from the people who pay taxes and giving them to people who don't pay taxes. And he is piling on this debt that Rocky referred to, that is so enormous, will hang on the shoulders of our children and grandchildren forever. Any normal person knows that you cannot spend yourself into prosperity, but he doesn't care about that. I've come to believe that he really wants to destroy the private enterprise system, and he doesn't think there's anything exceptional about the United States. He thinks, well, we think we're exceptional, and so does every other country in the world. Well, we are exceptional. That's why everybody wants to come here. It's pretty obvious. As Bill Bennett used to say, you can decide it by what he calls the gates theory. When you open up the gates, which way are people going? And they're coming our way because they know we are a land of freedom and prosperity. And Obama is taking us in the wrong direction. He's taking us into European-style socialism just as fast as he can. He's taking, nobody would have believed that he could take over the banks and take over the automobile industry and take over the health care of this country. And so we have a big opportunity to call a stop to it this year. I believe that there's everything in the Constitution to enable us to turn this country around. And we, fortunately, I can remember some other wonderful year. 1946 was a year of a great Republican takeover of Congress. We won big. The slogan that year was "Had Enough." And price control, wage control were big issues that year. And the Republicans swept in and did all sorts of wonderful things in that Congress that was elected in 1946. And then we had the election of Ronald Reagan in '80. Then we had the big Republican takeover of Congress in '92, and were able to do a number of good things, like putting in some changes in the welfare program. And of course, Obama has already changed that, repealed what the Republicans did in '92. We have that kind of opportunity this year to bring a big change in Congress. And you've got the kind of candidate who can do it. And that's why it's such an exciting year. Now, as Violet said, I have run for Congress. Let me tell you, people, if you haven't run for office, it's a dog's life. You have to eat all those awful chicken dinners. You have to answer all those hostile questions from reporters. You have to be nice to everybody. You have to be on call 24/7. And if you've got somebody who'll do that for you, you should be so glad you don't have to do it yourself because you get out and help them. And we achieve these things that it takes. Getting elected to office, I think, is much like raising children. A lot of repetitious, tiresome jobs. But once you do it, then you got something really worthwhile to show for it at the end of your work. And so running for office takes knocking on all those doors and licking all those envelopes and talking to all those people, talking to your friends, and do that and be so glad you don't have to run yourself, that you got a good guy to run for you. And I'm so happy to hear about Rocky. We need some veterans in this new Congress. When Justice Stevens announced he was going to retire from the U.S. Supreme Court, I put out all I could saying we need a veteran on the court. Stevens was the only veteran on the court. And you do believe in diversity, don't you? So I thought Obama should have appointed a veteran to fill that slot. Instead, he appointed somebody who's definitely anti-military. Leda Kagan showed that when she was the dean of Harvard. And she's a mirror image of all the bad ideas that Obama has, and you can be sure she's going to declare the Defense of Marriage Act unconstitutional and vote to declare Obamacare constitutional, even though it has many features that a lot of us believe are unconstitutional. So elections have consequences. And what is particularly important about participating in politics is to go in the primary. You hear people say when they get to the election, oh, I'm tired of voting for the lesser of two evils, I don't like anybody. But the guys you like are not going to be on the ballot unless you put them on the ballot in the primary. And in order to vote and get him on the ballot, you've got to go in your primary, which I understand is on August 3rd, is that right?
Yeah.
And I think you have to ask for a Republican ballot. That may be a wrenching experience for some people to do that. But that's the way you get good people on the ballot. And we don't want the rhinos running our party. That was the That was the theme of my book, A Choice Not an Echo, in 1964. And every week I meet somebody who says I came into the conservative movement reading A Choice Not an Echo in 1964. But the problem is still there. There's always a little gang of people who think they know better than the rest of us. They're the experts. But what we proved in the Equal Rights Amendment fight was that the grassroots can rise up and defeat everybody. I mean, we had 3 presidents against us, 95% of Congress, 98% of the media, all those organizations, and even Hollywood. Among others, Alan Alda came to Springfield, Illinois to tell our legislators to vote for the Equal Rights Amendment. But at any rate, we proved that the grassroots can rise up and beat them all. And that's what we want to do this year. We have the opportunity of a lifetime. It could be the most important election of our time. And Joe Biden finally said something important a couple of weeks ago. He said that if the Republicans get 39 new seats in this House, this will be the end of everything Barack and I are working for.